The Mike Wagner Show is powered by Sonic Web Studios. If you're looking to start or upgrade your online presence, visit www.sonicwebstudios.com for all of your online needs. Sonic Web Studios specializes in custom web design, app development, social networking, search engine optimization, domain registration, email marketing, online stores, and more. Since our birth, we have been designing and developing immaculate websites and providing web solutions which are a cut above the rest. As a leading web designing enterprise, we have a team of extremely talented web designers who are well-focused and have the experience of working on multiple web developing platforms such as PHP, Magento, custom WordPress, and more. Sonic Web Studios has been helping businesses of all kinds, whether big, small, established, or startup, impress their audiences with exemplary web solutions. We don't just create beautiful and functional websites. We give you a complete online solution with the main goal of enhancing your yearly revenues. We aim to give your business the online exposure and brand acknowledgement that will help you in achieving increased conversions leading to profitable sales. Call 1-800-303-3960 or visit us online at www.sonicwebstudios.com to get started today. Mention the Mike Wagner Show and get 20% off your project. Sonic Web Studios. Take your image to the next level. The Mike Wagner Show is powered by Sonic Web Studios. If you're looking to start or upgrade your online presence, visit www.sonicwebstudios.com for all of your online needs. Sonic Web Studios specializes in custom web design, app development, social networking, search engine optimization, domain registration, email marketing, online stores, and more. Since our birth, we have been designing and developing immaculate websites and providing web solutions which are a cut above the rest. As a leading web designing enterprise, we have a team of extremely talented web designers who are well-focused and have the experience of working on multiple web developing platforms such as PHP, Magento, custom WordPress, and more. Sonic Web Studios has been helping businesses of all kinds, whether big, small, established, or startup, impress their audiences with exemplary web solutions. We don't just create beautiful and functional websites. We give you a complete online solution with the main goal of enhancing your yearly revenues. We aim to give your business the online exposure and brand acknowledgement that will help you in achieving increased conversions leading to profitable sales. Call 1-800-303-3960 or visit us online at www.sonicwebstudios.com to get started today. Mention the Mike Wagner Show and get 20% off your project. Sonic Web Studios. Take your image to the next level.
It's now time for the Mike Wagner Show, powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at sonicwebstudios.com for all your needs. The Mike Wagner Show can be heard on Spreaker, Spotify, iHeartRadio, YouTube, iTunes, Anchor FM, Radio Public, and the MikeWagnerShow.com. Mike brings you great guests and interesting people from all across the globe. So sit back, relax, and enjoy another great episode of the Mike Wagner Show.
Hey, everybody, it's from the Mike Wagner Show, powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at sonicwebstudios.com for all your needs. Looking at a professional website without breaking your budget? Sonic Web Studios is the answer. Sonic Web Studios offers fast, affordable custom web designs at below the competition rate. Call today, 1-800-303-3960. That's 1-800-303-3960. Or email to support at sonicwebstudios.com. Mention the Mike Wagner Show. Get 20% off your first project. Sonic Web Studios. Take your image to the next level. Also, the Mike Wagner Show can be heard on the MikeWagnerShow.com. You can check our Facebook page at Facebook.com/The Mike Wagner Show. You can download and listen on Facebook, SoundCloud, Spreaker, Spotify, and iHeartRadio. Also on Anchor FM, Radio Public, iTunes, Google Play. Also on Amazon, 25 podcast platforms. Take the Mike Wagner Show on any mobile device. Subscribe to the Mike Wagner Show on the YouTube channel. And follow the Mike Wagner Show on Instagram and Twitter today. We're here with a wonderful actor, director, and stuntman, and the leader of Juliana. He's also a guitarist. He's been in the business for quite some time. He's been involved with Action USA, Ferris Bueller's Day Off, Fall Guy, John Stewart's Story, Serpico, and also he directed the stunts for Power Rangers TV series. He shared the stage with Big and Rich, wrote songs with Chris and McNamara, also with American Idol, Nashville Star Fame, and also just a wonderful person, and we'll be playing one of his songs at the end of the audio version. And right now, live, ladies and gentlemen, from the Plus Studios somewhere, ladies and gentlemen, the very multi-talented actor, director, and stuntman, leader of Juliana, John Stewart. John, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Thanks for joining us today.
Good evening, Mike. How you doing? Nice to be here.
Oh, it's great to have you on as well, too. Looking forward to what you got. And you just have a plethora of the things to do. I don't know where to start. You've been actor, director. You're also a stuntman and also directed stunts for a number of years. You're also a leader of the hot new band Juliana and also a new song called Tu Sabor, which has been really off the charts here. You've been involved with Action USA, Ferris Bueller's Day Off, Serpico, and also you had The Fall Guy, which features the story about yourself, and you also were involved with the Power Rangers. And before we get into all that, tell us how you first got started.
Well, since I was 10, I wanted to be a stuntman. So when I grew up in Boston, I knew what I wanted to do when I was very little. So I did all the crazy stuff you do as a kid, jumping mini bikes, falling off my grandmother's roof, that kind of thing. And I got started doubling Matt Dillon in a picture in Boston when I was 17. And from there, I did a couple of movies in Boston, moved out to L.A., and had a stunt career for like 30 years. And stunts led into directing. So I never planned on directing, but it kind of, back in those days, we're doing a lot of HBO movies with the car chases and all that kind of stuff. And the directors didn't really know how to direct action that well back in the 80s. So I just started directing the action scenes, and one thing led to another. And before you know it, I was just directing the whole movies.
That is amazing. And what was that one moment that precisely influenced you in what you're doing today? So what was that big moment for you?
For music, you mean?
For your acting and being a stuntman.
Oh, I never really wanted to be an actor. I wanted to be a stuntman. I knew that when I was 10 years old, watching the old John Wayne movies and stuff. Acting came only because of stunts. Sometimes it's better so they don't have to have a stunt double. If a stunt guy is just going to say a few lines, we can say the lines and they can throw us off a building. You know what I mean? We don't have to double them. So most of the acting parts I did were bad guy related. I never had a leading man role. That wouldn't be a good thing for me. But I was always playing a thug or Mike's Murder. I played the drug dealer, the movie with Deborah Winger, and a lot of horror stuff. So when you usually see a lot of movies, you see the audience doesn't know, but a lot of these smaller parts are stunt people saying the lines, and then they'll do the car chase or get thrown down a flight of stairs or something like that. So I wouldn't really call myself an actor, a good actor anyway. But it's convenient when you're for the directors to we say one or two lines and shoot us. You know what I mean? And it's easier for them.
That is amazing. And what would you say your most famous stunt was, and what was probably the most dangerous for you?
Well, the most famous one was a movie called. It wasn't the most dangerous, but the one that got all the attention was a movie I did with Sharon Stone called Cold Steel, where they double in Jonathan Banks, and Sharon shoots me with a grenade launcher, sets me on fire, and doing a full body burn and get thrown off a 16-story building. That at the time was a record, not for the highest high fall, because Dar Robinson did much higher than that, but I think at the time was the highest high fall on fire. Since then, it's been broken because we did that movie in 80-something. That got a lot of attention because it was so high and I was fully engulfed in flames. But the most dangerous one I ever did, it was a movie where we had to go down to Curran River, Class 5 rapids, and we had to swim down. First we had to swim down, then I had to ride a log down it. So that's Mother Nature. You can only prepare. I don't know if you've been around 5 Class Rapids, but, that's Mother Nature roaring at you, you know what I mean? You jump in that thing, you don't know what's going to happen. So I had to do it I think 4 weekends in a row, 6 or 7 times a day, It was just nuts. So that, to me, that was the most dangerous because you have really no control, One scene I got stuck actually under the water in what they call a whirlpool. And I reached up and thank God there was another stunt guy's leg going by. I grabbed him to pull myself up. I would have been drowning for sure,
Oh, my goodness. I can't see myself doing something like that. I'd probably just chicken out. It's like, help!
Yeah, it was a crazy story. What had happened was I was actually on a date. It was a Friday night with this girl I just met. And the producer called me. One of the producers called me up, and one of the producers did drown. There was an actor doing a scene by the water that got swept away. The producer jumped in to try and save the actor, and he ended up drowning. Ooh. So they said, we better get some stunt people up there. So I was in L.A. on the first date with this girl. Friday night, they call me, get up here Saturday morning. It's like a 4-hour drive to the Kern River. She decided to go with me because she was adventurous. We show up there with a bunch of other stunt people. And true story, I think I brought 7 stunt guys up to meet me up there. When we went down to the edge of the banks and seen the river, what they wanted us to do, 3 of them said, no way, and went home.
Oh, my.
So I was shot some bodies. So the girl I was with who never did a stunt in her life says, I'll jump in, I'll do it. And I'm like, you kidding me? So we put a wig on her, and she did her first stunt that weekend.
Oh, my goodness. And do you suppose she went on to do some more stunts afterwards? Or it's like, okay, that's enough. Let's go get some pizza.
Yeah, she just kind of did it for the fun of it. It wasn't like something you had to train for because it's rapid, you know. If you could swim, yeah, that's half the battle. But it was like going down a big water park ride because it was about 1.5 miles long. And once you jump in, no one could save you. They had safety guys, but they couldn't have got to us. You're going from point A to the end of the rapids. So it lasts about 1.5 miles. So she had a set of cojones on her, man, I'll tell you, to do that. And she had a ball, but we dated for a while, but she never did any stunts after that. She just wanted to do that one thing.
I had to be your claim to fame, I'll bet you, too. So, oh, my goodness. And, of course, we're here with John Stewart, also stuntman, director, and leader of Juliana here on the Mike Wagner Show. And who are some of your favorite actors? And also, we'll get into Juliana later, musicians, singers, and also some stunt people growing up. Who are some of your favorites?
Well, I was lucky enough. I had a lot of favorites. I became close with Heather Thomas. She was on TV series Fall Guy. I did a movie with her called Cyclone, where I had to train her how to ride motorcycles and stuff like that. So I'd go over her house on Saturday mornings. We'd go out and practice riding and whatever. So I became very good friends with her. We stayed friends over the years. I got to actually direct Tony Curtis in the movie one time. And that was quite, because he was a legend to me, so that was fun meeting him and directing him. I don't know. Stunt guys get along with actors, you know what I mean? Because we're making them look good and we're doing dangerous stuff for them. So we always get along with actors.
Mm-hmm. And who would you say was your most favorite to work with and was the most challenging?
Well, Tony was challenging. In fact, the reason I worked with Tony because he was giving a director a hard time, and the director couldn't work with him, so they called me in to direct. And he ended up liking me. Make a long story short, we became friends after that, and I treated him with respect, and it ended up being a good thing. One of my most challenging people to work with was Sharon Doherty. I did a movie of the week with her. I think it was her first actually nude scene in a movie, or partially nude scene. It was a movie of the week. So, and she was a handful to work with at the time. Michael Vincent, he was a great guy. He was one of my favorite actors. I grew up watching him on Airwolf, and he did a movie that he played a stuntman called Hooper with Burt Reynolds.
Oh, I remember that movie. I remember that, and I think that was like a follow-up to Smokey and the Bandit. And I remember that particular one where he's telling his horse, "Caca."
Caca, yeah.
And the horse raised his tail, and everybody just cracked up. That was my favorite part in the movie. Caca.
Caca, yeah. Yeah, he was a great guy. William Smith was great to work with. I did a few movies with him. I met a lot of nice people. I haven't had too many bad stories. Some of them, are a handful. David Carradine was a real handful for me. I did a picture with him where I wanted to get his close-up on one of the chase scenes, so I had him strapped to the hood of a car. And I'm driving the thing bat out of hell, getting his close-up coverage. So he wasn't too happy with me on that film.
He probably like, slow down, I'm easy, slow down.
Yeah, he kind of like took a swing at me with a rifle butt one day. He didn't think I was looking. He's standing in front of me, and I ducked at the last minute. So he was kind of wild in those days.
Anything goes pretty much. We'll talk about some of the other films, including John Stewart being in a film himself and more. But first, listen to the Mike Wagner Show at the MikeWagnerShow.com, powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at SonicWebStudios.com for all your needs. Looking for a professional website without breaking your budget? Sonic Web Studios is the answer. Sonic Web Studios offers fast, affordable custom web designs at below the competition rate. Call today 1-800-303-3960. That's 1-800-303-3960. Email to support@sonicwebstudios.com. Mention the Mike Wagner Show. Get 20% off your first project. Sonic Web Studios. Take your image to the next level. Also, the Mike Wagner Show can be heard on the MikeWagnerShow.com. You can check our Facebook page at Facebook.com/The Mike Wagner Show. You can download and listen on Facebook, SoundCloud, Spreaker, Spotify, and iHeartRadio. Also on Anchor FM, Radio Public, iTunes, Google Play, along with Amazon, Audible, and more. Take the Mike Wagner Show on any mobile device. Subscribe to the Mike Wagner Show on the YouTube channel, and follow the Mike Wagner Show on Instagram and Twitter today. We're here, stuntman and director John Stewart, and also leader of Juliana here on the Mike Wagner Show. And just a few movies that kind of stood out for you, which is Action USA, Ferris Bueller's Day Off, and also the fall guy that's featuring about you. Let's talk about Action USA for just a minute. That was probably one of your biggest ones.
Yeah, Action USA was the first movie I ever directed, the whole movie, and I wrote the story, it, and it was my first one. And it's funny you mentioned that because we did it in 1988, and just this month, Tim League from Alamo Drafthouse Theaters was showing a screening of it a few months ago, and they decided to release it again after all these years. So they went in and did a technical makeover on it to get it up to par with today's technology. And they just opened it up at the the film festival in Texas. It was a secret film festival that they do every year, and it's coming out on theaters November 6th, and then it's going to be in Walmart and all the other streaming platforms after that. So it's kind of great that after all these years, because when we released it back in '88, it did its run, and then everybody got busy on their career. Somehow, someone showed it to him in a backyard screening a few months ago, and he fell in love with it, and put a big team together behind it to do a theatrical release along with everything else. So that will be coming out shortly if there's any Action USA fans out there, for sure.
And we're looking forward to that as well, too. And Ferris Bueller's Day Off, one of my favorite movies. And tell us about your role in that one.
Well, there wasn't a lot of big stunts in that. I was doubling Cameron in the swimming pool scene. So that was... most of the movies I did in the 80s and 90s, we were doing some crazy stuff. We were getting beat up and, car jumps. A typical day for me in the 80s was, I remember one day I did a car jump, actually 2 car jumps over a semi-truck. A pipe ramp is where the car hits a pipe ramp and does a corkscrew in the air and explodes.
Oh, my.
That was during the day. Then I went to another film and did a bunch of fight stuff and a full body burn. So that was a typical day for me back in the 80s. I remember one week I left my house on a Monday. I didn't get back home until the following Saturday. I would go from set to set to set to set, catch an hour in a dressing room, an hour in this dressing room. I was doing 2-3 films at a time back then. So Ferris Bueller's Day Off is great. I spent 3 days by the pool, in that pool scene, just kind of relaxing. And my dangerous thing was pretending I'm drowning for Cameron, you know what I mean? So it was nice to get a little break. And of course, the movie's well known and everybody knows that, but there wasn't a lot of dangerous stunts in there at all. But I was glad to be a part of it. Matthew Broderick was great, and I got to work with his wife, Sarah Jessica Parker. I did a series called Square Pegs when I first moved out here, and she was on that. So it was great to be a part of that film. Obviously, it's well known.
Mm-hmm. I can imagine. Bueller. Save that guy, Bueller.
Still getting texts from that one. It's on all the time.
Oh, my goodness. That's just one of the classics. And, of course, you also go way back to Serpico as well, too. 1973, one of my favorites. And tell us about that one. I don't know anything about Serpico. I don't know why people keep saying that. Was that on IMDb or something? I think so, yes. And I don't know why it was. And I thought Serpico, it's like, that's one of my favorite movies, Al Pacino.
Yeah. No, I wasn't in that for sure. And I don't know why. We have no control of who has control of that, to be honest with you. But that, I never worked on Serpico. And I would have been 13 at the 13 at the time, and I didn't get into business until 17. A lot of times you do films and they have working titles. So, you know, you'll do a film and it has a working title. It comes out a year or two later with a whole different title. So a lot of times they change the name of these movies. If you don't keep up with it, you don't even know. I get residual checks now for films that I don't even remember doing, but they could have been a different title when they did them, a working title.
Right.
But Serpico, I didn't work on it that I know of.
And also just a few more as well, too, before we get to your musical career. And, of course, you know, you got Children of the Corn, 666, Leprechaun 3, and also Witchboard 2, and Grand Canyon, and maybe just a few famous films you just want to hit. And, you know, tell us more about that. And before we get your amazing music careers, it's like, you know, I mean, I'm ready to pull out the DVD and start watching some of your works on it. So...
Well, yeah, I mean, I did a lot of horror films. Phantasm 2 is a pretty good one. We did a lot of big stunts in that. And that one I did have an acting part in there. Played one of the Gulus, whatever you want to call them, the goons that get killed. I get thrown in the fire by Mickey Dolan's daughter. She was an actress in the movie.
Oh, my goodness.
Children of the Corn, they were fun to do. All those movies are great. I love horror films because you get to get prosthetic and made up and do all this crazy stuff. What else? I forgot what else you mentioned in there. But the horror ones are pretty much, Leprechaun. In fact, I just did it's funny, the Leprechaun I did, I think it was Leprechaun 3, but I just did a commentary for our interview for Action USA for the Blu-ray. And then the host that was interviewing me was actually the director of Leprechaun.
Oh, wow.
I haven't seen all those years. So that was a fun movie to do. They're all, you know, all these movies have a place in my heart. They're all fun. You know what I mean? You work with sometimes the same crew, but a lot of different crew you get to meet. I did some movies overseas where I spent a year in like Yugoslavia and Czechoslovakia. I'll never see those people again, but the ones that we did here, you get to see on, you know, different films. Usually you work with the same people, a lot of the same people.
And also, you've been in one yourself, too, The Fall Guy, which is a John Stewart story. And tell us all about that one. That had been an amazing story.
Well, yeah, that came up because a friend of mine, Ronnie Hidayah, is a producer I've worked with for many, many years. His dad was a writer, screenwriter. And he kept telling me, let's do a movie about your life, because he knew my life outside of the movie business, kind of the crazy stuff that happened. And he kept on me for like a year or two to write a script, so I finally did. And the good thing about that movie was that they hired an actor to play me. In fact, the kid that I was directing in Power Rangers, Jason Frank, played me in the movie. But when I got to the stunts, they didn't recreate any stunts. They actually used the stunts that I really did for the films. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So we didn't recreate any of the crashes or the high falls. It was all real, you know.
And of course, speaking of the Power Rangers, you're involved in that too. And tell us about that and what's it like working with the Power Rangers. I mean, that's one of my favorite kid shows too, and the other kids is too back in the day. So.
Yeah, no, I love that. In fact, Ronnie Hidayah was just talking about, and that was a producer of Power Rangers. And when he started to produce that show, I had already directed a couple of films. I don't know how many, like 2 or 3 films, and they wanted to get a film director in there to give it a different look than just a TV director. Mm-hmm. So that's why he called me to direct that. And I did a season. I don't know how many I did. Season of that, and then and that was great. I mean, the show was well known, obviously. So we had a ball doing that. We shot the show for 6 months. Didn't even know anybody watched it. And then one day, Universal Studios called us to do a live appearance at the amphitheater. And as we're driving up, we were in a limo with the actors and Ronnie and everybody in the back. And as we're going down to 101 at 11 o'clock on a Friday morning, they shut the freeway down. We got diverted off, and to go up that big hill up to Universal, that was all blocked off, and it was like 35,000 people at the front gate.
Oh my God!
Up there, and I said to Ronnie, I said, well, maybe the Rolling Stones are playing tonight. Maybe they'll give us a free ticket, you know. And I recently watched news footage of this event. It was crazy. And then we get up there, and these when we get out of the car, 35,000 screaming mothers and kids just started coming at us. And Universal had the trams there, threw us in the back, and took us backstage. And that was, I think, the first time we knew anybody was even watching the show. We had no idea.
Oh my goodness, that's something as well. And also get your music in just a minute, including one of the featured songs from the Fall Guy as well. But first, listen to the Mike Wagner Show at the MikeWagnerShow.com, powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at SonicWebStudios.com for all your needs. Look at a professional website without breaking your budget. Sonic Web Studios is the answer. Sonic Web Studios offers fast, affordable custom web designs at below the competition rate. Call today, 1-800-303-3960. It's 1-800-303-3960. Or email to support@sonicwebstudios.com. Mention the Mike Wagner Show. Get 20% off your first project. Sonic Web Studios. Take your image to the next level. Also, the Mike Wagner Show can be heard on the MikeWagnerShow.com. You can check our Facebook page at Facebook.com/The Mike Wagner Show. You can download and listen on Facebook, SoundCloud, Spreaker, Spotify, and iHeartRadio. Also on Anchor FM, Radio Public, iTunes, Google Play, along with Amazon, Audible, and more. Take the Mike Wagner Show with you on any mobile device. Subscribe to the Mike Wagner Show on the YouTube channel and follow the Mike Wagner Show on Instagram and Twitter today. We're here, director, stuntman, and the leader of Juliana John Stewart here on the Mike Wagner Show. He's also the guitarist for the group, which been around for a little bit. Talk about the song Tu Sabor and a bunch of others. And you also share the stage with Big and Rich. You've written song for Chris and McNamara and worked in the studio with Jamie Browning and Dizzy Reed and more. And first of all, just tell us how you got started music-wise.
Well, music, I was always, speaking of music, here's Madeline. Madeline Kay is the lead singer of Juliana.
Come on in.
It's kind of like, I'm not the leader of Juliana. It's our band. We both write the songs, but she sings. So it's kind of, we put the band together. But this is Madeline.
Hello, Madeline. How are you? Welcome to the Mike Wagner Show.
Thank you. Thanks so much for having us. We're, as I'm sure John told you, we're in the middle of recording one of our new songs.
Oh, okay. All right. Do you have a few minutes or do you need to get back? Because we love to have you on, too. So we love people coming in. And if there are cats and dogs that just pop in front of you, we welcome them, too. So go ahead. You can bring some other people and just try to squeeze in. And you know something? I mean, social distancing, I trust you guys. So don't worry about it.
Yeah, we're good here. And ironically, you have some Green Bay Packers swag behind you. I'm headed to Beaver Dam, Wisconsin tomorrow, which is where my family lives.
Oh, really? Whereabouts?
They're in Beaver Dam. It's a really small town.
Oh, okay, yeah, because we've been around Beaver Dam, and I was born in Milwaukee, raised in Racine, lived there for the first 9 years before heading to Chicago, and spent 30 years before coming to Bismarck, North Dakota, 2007. I've been a Packer fan for a long time, and it got started where my mom and dad shoved a transistor radio right to my ear, sleeping on a Packer game. That's how it got started.
Oh, my gosh, yeah. Not a whole lot of Latin music culture up there. I think I'm going to catch them off guard if I'm rehearsing.
I think that'd be a great idea. Or maybe you can teach some cheeseheads up there what music is about, and maybe you can throw some jalapenos in there and teach about culture, and then they can teach about the Packers too. So, right, John, you can teach her, and you can all teach each other. So,
yeah, the only jalapenos they want are with jalapeno poppers full of the Wisconsin cheese, right?
Oh, yeah, that's probably the best part. And of course, you know, I got you a few minutes here. And if you have to go back in, that's fine, too. So, Madeline, you've been working for quite some time. And, John, you collaborate. You also got Bob Ross. And tell us how you guys first got started with Juliana.
For sure. So, basically, John and Bob have been working together for a while. They're amazing musicians. And I was coming in for a studio vocalist audition to do background vocals. And John was helping this secondary artist, and he heard me at the audition for the background vocals and basically pulled me aside after the audition and insisted that we start a collaboration together. So it's gone from there, and as a vocalist, there's really nothing better than finding these dedicated musicians who have been working on their music and craft for so long. And the collaboration really came together fast. We just loved making music together, and it feels really like how they kind of did an old school like garage band. We're at Bob Ross's studio every Saturday and just jamming out there and improvising the songs and bringing everything together. So it's a really cool experience. That's
amazing. How long have you guys been doing Juliana?
So everything started in April.
Wow.
It's been short term, and this has actually been really conducive for all of the song making because we can't perform live. So we're just working on recording and writing new material every week, and we have a lot of time to spend on the music. Oh,
my goodness. And not just Tu Sabor, you also got En Cama, La Rosas, and Mi Amor Roboto, and maybe you can tell us about some of those songs.
Yeah, for sure. So I'm super inspired by John's melodies. I'd never sang Latin music before. And once I heard John's melodies, I was really inspired. Initially, we thought about making maybe country music together. And in the end, Spanish is my second language, and these Latin melodies that John was creating were so different and make you want to dance and make you want to sing. And that's what's really inspired so much of the music is creating this music that brings life to you and makes you want to be in the moment and is true dance music. It's not pop dance. It's like it's rock. It's Latin. It has all these different flares. A lot of the songs, couple love songs, couple breakup songs, but really songs that empower you and that make you want to be confident and allow you to say what you want to say in the moment and kind of have no fear. Like Encama is about a confident woman who's telling her partner that she just wants to stay in bed all day. And how do you want your eggs? Because we're taking them in bed. And
hey, John, feel free to pitch in here. So jump in, John. Feel free.
And to me, I'm a very confident and powerful woman, and I've never had any fear about being. So I hope that the music can sort of inspire a generation to start reclaiming who you are and being a powerful person.
And who are some of your favorite artists, singers, and musicians growing up, Madeline?
Sure thing. So the artists that I probably channel the most for inspiration are Joan Jett, Pat Benatar, and Janis Joplin, like these really powerful, belty type singers. I listened to a lot of Sade growing up, love encapsulating that. And then I was quite a musical theater nerd. So that was most of the music that I listened to were classic musical theater, musicals. And that really inspired my songwriting in a way because it gives you that storytelling, which I love doing that through song.
Oh, that is amazing. And of course, maybe you can just sing one of your songs for us a cappella. And John, feel free to jump in if you need to.
Well, I can't sing. If I sing, your show would be over.
No.
I'm the worst.
No, I already talked to my producer. He said, you must go on. I just got notice says, John, feel free to jump in. So
no, never singing. They never catch me.
John's going to hop on the harmonies.
I'm kidding, John. We love you. And of course, we'll talk, with John as well, too, more about the group and some of his music. And maybe, Madeline, you can go ahead and sing for us a little bit.
Do you want me to, John?
Whatever you want. They're going to play Tu Sabor after.
They're going to play Tu Sabor?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll sing a little bit of what we're recording right now, sort of give them a preview of the song to come since it's in my head. So
that sounds good. And we're going to play that song at the end of the show. This will be the audio versions. This is a video version, and then the audio version will play at the end of the song. So go ahead and have at it.
Okay, sure thing. Sigo caminando en círculos, waiting for this to take shape. Conozco mi camino, why should I have to wait? Finalmente te encontré along the way. Espérame donde te diriges. So,
wow. That is amazing. And yes, that was Madeline Kay of the group Juliana, inspired by John Stewart. And also Bob Ross is off somewhere. And you know what? We got to get you three of you guys together to be on the show. You guys can play together live and whatever else. I think that'd be fun. Right, John?
Sure. Yeah.
That'd be great.
Get my cup of tea going.
All right.
She's going to get back to work.
Sounds good. Thank you very much, Madeline. Looking forward to having you on. And John, we'll talk more about your group as well, too, some of your ventures. But first, listen to the Mike Wagner Show at themikewagnershow.com, powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at sonicwebstudios.com for all your needs. Look at a professional website without breaking your budget. Sonic Web Studios is the answer. Sonic Web Studios offers fast, affordable custom web designs at below the competition rate. Call today, 1-800-303-3960. That's 1-800-303-3960. Or email to support@sonicwebstudios.com. Mention the Mike Wagner Show. Get 20% off your first project. Sonic Web Studios. Take your image to the next level. Also, the Mike Wagner Show can be heard on the MikeWagnerShow.com. You can check our Facebook page at Facebook.com/The Mike Wagner Show. You can download and listen on Facebook, SoundCloud, Spreaker, Spotify, and iHeartRadio. Also on Anchor FM, Radio Public, iTunes, Google Play, along with Amazon, Audible, Apple, and more. Take the Mike Wagner Show with you on any mobile device. Subscribe to the Mike Wagner Show on the YouTube channel and follow the Mike Wagner Show on Instagram and Twitter today. We're here with director, stuntman, and guitarist of Juliana John Stewart here on the Mike Wagner Show. Very multi-talented from his Plus Studios here somewhere. And we talked about Tucson Bore, and thanks to Madeline for jumping as well too. You share the stage with Bigger, Rich, and more. And I guess before we got a little sidetrack here, and maybe just tell us how you got started music wise. Was it like after your stunt career, or was it just mixed in somewhere?
It's kind of mixed in. I was always playing guitar since I was 10 years old, and I never was in a band or anything. In fact, when they did Fall Guy, I wanted to write the title song for the movie, so I did. And I didn't have a band. So I was actually sitting on an Apple box on a set of Fall Guy. I just finished writing the song, and a friend of mine come up, and she said, well, who's the band? How are you going to record it? And I said, well, I don't have a band yet. She goes, I have some people I'm going to show the song to. So I actually was recording it into a little cassette tape, And then she takes it, calls him back a week later. She goes, I got a band for you. Go down this address on next Wednesday, whatever day it was, and it was in Orange County. Went down there. And I walked in, it was the Righteous Brothers.
Oh,
so
wow.
That was actually the band for my first song, And so we did it, and it came out. It was in the movie. And then, make a long story short, one of the girls from Kristen McNamara heard it from American Idol. She came out to L.A., and I wrote a couple of songs with her. And she was kind of popular at the time, and went back, showed the songs to like Big and Rich. She's friends with John and Rich, and they were doing a tour, so we were opening for them, and that's how I got started. And my first, I never played in a bar. I never played any place. I just kind of wrote for myself. So my first gig was at a Big and Rich concert, which was kind of crazy, all those people. I was more scared to go out there then, thinking I'd forget the chords or something than jumping off a 16-story building,
I was just going to say, do they make you jump off a 16-story building or something, or just jump off a stage with a car? That's what I'm thinking. It's like, hey, I'm going to jump off here before you guys we play. So
yeah, that would have been fun. So that was the start of it, basically. And then I just started writing more songs, did some country stuff, and then I really wanted to do Latin, but I don't speak Latin. But I have these, like she was telling you, some melodies I come up with, and I have them all in my head. When I get out the guitar, they just come out, So when I met her, and she told me she's Madeline, rather, and she said, "Hey, I can sing Latin," and I'm like, I showed her some stuff, and I said, "Go write some lyrics," And then that's how it became about with us two.
Wow, that's amazing, and also. The releases, we talked about the 4 songs earlier with Madeline as well, too. And where can we find them? And what else can we expect from you guys in 2021 and beyond?
Well, all of our songs, which are free, by the way, to download, we're not charging for them or anything, are on JulianaMusic.com. Juliana music.com. Very simple. And the website has the links to all our social media, Instagram, Facebook, and all that stuff. Has all the music videos up there that we've done to all the songs. There's 4 songs out there now. We're doing 2 more as we speak in the studio now. So we have 6 songs written, and we got another singer coming in. We're going to do kind of a duet thing with her. So pretty soon we'll have 8 or 10 songs, and there'll be enough to go tour when the world opens up. So that's our plan, is when the world opens up, to get up there and start playing.
And do you have any other plans, working with other musicians in the studio, during this downtime, or with Juliana, or who else do you plan on working with?
Well, we do have a girl coming in today named Lily. She doesn't sing Spanish. She sings, but she's a very good singer. She's awesome. And actually, the song we're doing now has a couple of English lines in there, and she's going to sing them, kind of like a little duet.
Oh, that is fantastic. And just a couple of things here with director, stuntman, and also guitarist of Juliana John Stewart here on the Mike Wagner Show. Who do you consider biggest influence in your career, John?
My biggest influence? That's a tough one. There's so many people. As far as stunts, I mean, Hal Needham was great, he's the guy who directed Hooper and Smokey and the Bandit, and he was Burt Reynolds' roommate and friend, and I think he inspired almost every stunt guy that was younger at the time. So I would definitely say he was a big inspiration for me. The guy was phenomenal. He could do everything. He was an all-around good stuntman. So I was inspired by him. And then growing up, back in the early 80s, we were just trying to take stunts to a new level then. They kind of had, if you used to watch the old shows, they'd have the same kind of stuff all the time. So I try to be an innovator and think of new, crazier ideas, bigger explosions, longer jumps, bigger pipe ramps, that kind of thing. So we had put together a team of like 7 stunt guys I work with all over the years, brought them all in all the films. So we had a pretty good stunt team. I think we did some pretty good stuff. If you watch any of those old movies you were talking about, there's no CGI in them at all. They're all real, you know what I mean? Everything you see is what you get. Action USA, there's a ton of stuff in that's coming out. None of it's CGI. It's all real.
That is amazing. And what's the best advice you can give to anybody at this point, John?
Wow, the business has changed so much. But like I say, with all the CGI stuff, it's tough. Stunts are a tight-knit community. And even now, more now than before, it's not about how good you are, it's about who you know. But practice, what I would tell anybody is practice your craft, whether it's driving. The best thing you do for stunts is be versatile, not just do high falls or not just drive motorcycles. You got to know how to do everything. If you want to work, you got to be a good driver, cars and motorcycles, jumping off buildings, high falls, good at fire, fight scenes, you know what I mean? Just to find a group of stunt people you can train with, and there are groups in LA. Lane Levitt has a great stunt, I don't want to call it stunt academy, but great group of people that they train together every week, and he's helped a lot of people out. And just learn your craft and keep at it, and sooner or later, follow your dreams and they'll come true. Anything's possible.
Mm-hmm. And that's very true. Once again, John Stewart, director, stuntman, guitarist of Juliana here on the Mike Wagner Show. A very big thank you for your time. You've been absolutely fantastic. Looking forward to having you again soon. And make sure you keep us up to date and tell us about your upcoming projects. What's your website? How do people contact you? And where can people, check out your music and also check out your movies?
Everything is on, for music-wise, everything's on JulianaMusic.com. All our websites, our Facebooks, all that kind of stuff. Action USA will be out November 6th. Everywhere, just Google Action USA. It'll be coming to a theater near you. For the music, we're going to put everything on JulianaMusic.com. Everything that comes out, we're going to put on that. We'll have links to the shows, links to this show that we're doing tonight with you, and links to the live shows. So that's the one main place to go. You don't have to find Instagram here and Facebook there. It's all connected to the website.
That is amazing. Once again, John, a very big thank you for your time. You've been absolutely fantastic. Learned a lot from you. Looking forward to having you again soon. Do us a favor. Keep us up to date. Love you back on in 2021 and beyond. Make sure you keep in touch, and we love to have you back. I love hearing more stuff from you.
Anytime. Thanks for having me.
Cuando me despierto, eres lo primero en mis labios. Tú me animas al comienzo de mi día una vez más. Tú eres mi fortaleza, sacudida a mis sentidos con una capa de azúcar como la cafeína. Tomaré un sorbo tal vez más azúcar por favor y gracias. Elevas al ritmo de mi corazón. Eres la razón. Tomaré un sorbo tal vez más azúcar por favor y gracias. Una copa de alegría, no puedo sentidos, como una capa de azúcar. Dame tu energía, tomaré un sorbo, tal vez más azúcar, por favor y gracias. Elevas el ritmo de mi corazón, eres la razón. Tomaré un sorbo, tal vez más azúcar, por favor y gracias. Una copa de alegría, no puedo creer que seas mía. Hiciste mi vaso medio lleno, un gusto y soy tuyo. Tomaré un sorbo, tal vez más azúcar, por favor y gracias. Elevas el ritmo de mi corazón, eres la razón. Tomaré un sorbo, tal vez más azúcar, por favor y gracias. Una copa de alegría, no puedo creer que seas mía. Tomaré un sorbo, tal vez más azúcar, por favor y gracias. Elevas el ritmo de mi corazón, eres la razón. Tomaré un sorbo, tal vez más azúcar, por favor y gracias. Una copa de alegría, no puedo creer que seas mía. Hiciste mi vaso medio lleno, un gusto y soy tuyo.
The Mike Wagner Show is powered by Sonic Web Studios. If you're looking to start or upgrade your online presence, visit www.sonicwebstudios.com for all of your online needs. Sonic Web Studios specializes in custom web design, app development, social networking, search engine optimization, domain registration, email marketing, online stores, and more. Since our birth, we have been designing and developing immaculate websites and providing web solutions which are a cut above the rest. As a leading web designing enterprise, we have a team of extremely talented web designers who are well-focused and have the experience of working on multiple web developing platforms such as PHP, Magento, Custom WordPress, and more. Sonic Web Studios has been helping businesses of all kinds, whether big, small, established, or startup, impress their audiences with exemplary web solutions. We don't just create beautiful and functional websites. We give you a complete online solution with the main goal of enhancing your yearly revenues. We aim to give your business the online exposure and brand acknowledgement that will help you in achieving increased conversions leading to profitable sales. Call 1-800-303-3960 or visit us online at www.sonicwebstudios.com to get started today. Mention the Mike Wagner Show and get 20% off your project. Sonic Web Studios. Take your image to the next level.
Thanks for listening to the Mike Wagner Show, powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at sonicwebstudios.com for all your needs. The Mike Wagner Show can be heard on Spreaker, Spotify, iHeartRadio, iTunes, YouTube, Anchor FM, Radio Public, and themikewagnershow.com. Please support our program with your donations at themikewagnershow.com. Join us again next time for another great episode of The Mike Wagner Show.